So it is going to be cold, as you know. It's going to be cold tonight, too, just not as headline grabbing, but we start the process of these cold nights. We really started last night. Most of us were in the single digits. Tonight, again, very similar to last night, single digits, 10 or so along the coast. Could be around 0 in Bangor, colder than 0 north of Bangor into Millinocket and Caribou, where, by the way, starting tomorrow afternoon and tonight, they've got a ground blizzard warning, which is there's going to be blowing snow, drifting snow, really dangerous travel conditions there. So tomorrow during the day, a lot of us are going to get a little reprieve here because temperatures will actually get into the upper 20s, into the low 30s, which will feel pretty good, I guess, relatively speaking. So it's not all that cold tomorrow, and it's a quiet day. Here comes our Arctic cold front, though, and with it, snow squalls. It's pretty typical with an Arctic front to see snow squalls, so we could see some quick whiteout conditions in the mountains on Thursday night and even into the foothills about midnight. Watch these temperatures behind the Arctic front, though. So ahead of it, it's 25 in Portland. This is 2 a.m. on Friday. Front comes through. And then by 8 a.m., 3 in Portland, 3 below in Lewiston, 3 below in Bangor. And so the headline, of course, is about Friday night. But look at it, in the middle of the day on Friday with sunshine, it's below 0 everywhere, except for Portsmouth, but that's not in Maine, so it's fine. It's going to be cold everywhere and as much as 20 degrees below 0 during the middle of the day on Friday. And then we go into the overnight hours and we get colder and colder. And along the coast will be around 15 degrees below 0. So it's interesting because there's actually a pretty big difference historically, for Portland especially, between 14, 15, 16 below and 18 or 19 below, which is what the European model wants to do here Saturday morning. If we get to 19 below, it'll be the first time since 1984. 16 or 17 below, we did that in 2018. So there's a lot in between those just couple of degrees. But I think everybody is super cold, obviously, and the wind chills in the morning will be, as we've talked about, up to 60 degrees below 0. And it stays that way through at least the middle of the day, and in some cases across northern Maine, it never gets any better than that. So this is a brief cold shot. That's the good news. And we start to warm up very quickly on Sunday into Monday, Tuesday, and potentially by Wednesday, we could be in the mid 40s in quite a few spots. So it really does not last long at all. And the February outlook, as we've discussed, guys, is pretty mild. No big storms. Maybe a mixture of rain and snow light stuff on Wednesday, but I don't see anything big. It's just all about those overnight temps and see where we end up historically. But no matter what, it's obviously the coldest in several years, minimum. Yeah. And then from there, we'll see where it lands.
Did we ignore the title, The Brutal But Brief, like your career?
Yes, we're just gonna
let that
move
be.
right over that.
All right.
David's gonna have to change it for his. That's
Yes.
His is much more promising of a career.